Im weiß-gelben MRS-TT-Race-Fahrzeug und ja, der steht auf Startposition 4 und das ist die beste Position, die der Belgier bisher in der ungefähr mit Porsche-Karriere hatte. Natürlich eine Ausnahme, hier der bei MS Racing dabei, deshalb wurde die Zeit ein bisschen länger, heißt das heute klingt. Und ich übernehme mal Gesetz den Fall, es läuft hier nochmal als du hast. Ansonsten würde ich uns gerade kommst.
Warum passen wir vielleicht mit den eigentlich ach so hochmodernen Fahrzeugen in Richtung des Oldtimer Grand Prix? 70 Jahre Branche ist das eine Thema bestens bekannt, aber wir als die Motorsportler aus Weissach schauen voller Stolz.
Schauen im Übrigen seit fast 30 Jahren die Geschichte von Branchenfahrzeugen. Wir werden höchstens die Kennzeichen bekommen und sind dann sicher, wir sind auch schon
auf der ganzen Welt unterwegs und der Deutsche, das ist so ein bisschen ein absolutes Aushängeschild. Diese nationale deutsche Liga ist eine sehr, sehr hart umkämpfte, die hier ausgetragen wird mit Piloten aus 10 Nationen. Und in diesem Cup machen wir, und auch das ist schon ein klein wenig Historie, seit fast 20 Jahren Nachwuchs.
16 Jahre, 20 das ist motorsportliche im Weg gehen Thomas Mann zum Beispiel der interessanteste Züge der Welt oder an der Landwirtschaft Auszubildender für den Bereich Motorsport. Bitte Thomas mit Magnus.
Richtig, ein Vortrag steht bei Ihnen, ich war First Magnus, you're owner of many Porsches, so what do you like more? Modern one or the
I like them all, you know, if it's got a Porsche badge on it, I'm in love with the Porsche thing. Ultimately, I'm a vintage car guy, but I love the new ones as well because they're all super exciting to drive, and that's the most important thing, separate of the people, is the drive and the Porsche.
Okay, I think we will see you after the race as well, I think, over there.
I'm hanging around for the whole race. I'm super excited. I'll be here till the end of the day of the Oldtimer GP here at the Nürburgring.
Okay, enjoy the race. Thank you very much.
Very much. Wiedersehen. Let's get out and race. Cheers. Tschüss.
Wiedersehen. Wiedersehen. Lieber Magnus Walker, das ist ein unfassbar liebenswerter Zeitgenosse. Ich drück's mal höflich aus, mit hohem Erkennungswert, was Haar- und Barttracht angeht. Aber so ein richtiger Enthusiast für diese ganze Sache. Der passt super, super gut. Aktuelle Tabelle. Thomas Breining, 20 Jahre alt, kommt aus Österreich, die 10 bei diesen beiden pinkfarbigen Augen. Während jetzt die Täfelchen gezeigt werden und wir uns dann freuen, gleich im Übrigen auch live auf Sendung wieder mit dabei zu sein. Mit Sport 1, und das ist ja auch der Grund gewesen, warum der Oldtimer
umfangreich ist. Fernsehen ausgestrahlt, manche Fragen stehen halt schon da für den Körper. Das ist jetzt sicher immer unter der 31 aus Oldtimer Münster, überraschend in der Nähe von Nassau.
Meister mehr oder weniger des letzten Jahres und die erste Startreihe mal wieder nach dem Motto Pink macht flink mit.
Von
Well, hello ladies and gentlemen from around the world, and welcome back to the Nürburgring here in Germany for round 8 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany 2018. The Porsche area in the paddock has grown this year, now covering 16,000 square metres. Porsche welcomes automobile rebel Magnus Walker as a guest who is in the paddock signing autographs. Well, the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland does go into its 29th season. A tremendous starting grid with up to 32 drivers taking part in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Drivers from different nations around the world, up to 10 to 12 different nations represented. We have 28 permanent drivers and a max number of 4 guest drivers. So motorsports celebrity in the Porsche paddock today is Derek Ball, a British racing driver who was extremely successful in sports car racing, winning the Le Mans 24 hours 5 times yesterday. He drove a very special leading car before Porsche Carrera. Short 1991cc flat 6-boxer engine. It is of course right-hand drive. So our drivers are primed and ready on the start-finish straight for the second race of the weekend. It is of course round 8 of the Porsche Carrera Cup 2018 season in Germany, and we are about to begin the formation lap. And it is, of course, Thomas Preining who gets us underway. The German only managing a second place finish. You may think I'm sounding harsh by saying only managing, but prior to that he had only, well, he hadn't not won a race for the previous 4. He'd won 4 consecutive races, really taking this championship battle to his teammates Michael Ammermüller, also of Germany, the BWT Lechner Racing drivers, absolutely dominating so far this season. Having said that, Jaap van Lagen, Force Racing driver from Netherlands, won his maiden race of the season with an impressive victory, overtaking Preining at the beginning of the race yesterday. It's his first victory, Jaap van Lagen, since 2013. He starts today in 3rd position. Let's see if he can get in and amongst the BWT Lechner Racing cars today to really cause some problems. In 5th place, it is Glenn Van Perish from Belgium. Starting in 5th place is Larry ten Voorde. Starting in 6th in the all-white car, the Lechner Racing car from France, Jean-Baptiste Simonoya. Starting in 7th place is Igor Waliko. In 8th place, it is Dylan Perilla from Luxembourg. In 9th place, it is Gustav Malja. And starting in 10th place, racing for Race Union, it is Henrik Skog. So over the course of this championship, there is 7 race weekends here in Germany and of course in the Netherlands. This is the second round, the second race weekend, which is featured here at the Nürburgring. 4 races in total. We had, of course, the first race of the weekend yesterday, and the championship battle between Thomas Preining and Michael Ammermüller is really keeping us entertained. Forward to seeing how that one continues over the course of this exciting PCC Germany season. We are now at the halfway stage of the season. 7 races completed, 7 still to remain. This will be the final time we race here at the Nürburgring. to the middle. Track temperature of 29 degrees, slightly warmer than it was yesterday, 27 degrees yesterday. Less windy as well, and air temperature pretty similar. So the drivers lining up then as they complete this formation lap. It will be Thomas Preining on the right-hand side of your screen in the pink BWT Lechner Racing, getting things underway. He's been on fantastic form, 4 victories in the 2nd place in the last 5 races. Championship leader Michael Ammermuller lines up next to him on the left-hand side of your screen. He is, of course, in the other BWT Lechner Racing car. And then Jaap van Lagen from Netherlands will be behind him, trying to get in and amongst the battle for that first corner. In 4th place, it is Glenn van Parijs from Belgium in the MRS GT Racing car. So the final few cars lining up on the grid. This is the final race of the weekend here in Nürburgring, the 8th race of the season. This is, of course, round 4 of 7. Red lights are on and the lights are out, and away we go. The final race of the weekend. Preining goes over to the left to try and cover his teammate. Good start by both the drivers on the front of the row. The BWT Lechner Racing drivers get away well, and that's much better stuff from Preining. A slightly slower start yesterday, but this time he's got himself covered. Jaap van Lagen then in 3rd position. All the cars have got away cleanly so far. No contact as of yet. So it is Preining that leads then, just clipping a little bit of dust on the side of the circuit there, as the tyres starting to warm up, as the warm track temperature, I'm sure, will help assist with that. So Preining leads teammate Ammermuller in 2nd. In 3rd place, it is Jaap van Lagen, who was, of course, the winner yesterday. Behind him, it is Glenn van Parijs from Belgium. Good start by all the drivers. No collisions as of yet. And Preining, you can see, already opening up a little bit of a gap over his teammate. Was very much the frustrated figure against Van Lagen yesterday, as he was spent the whole race trying to overtake him and wasn't able to get the job done. Now we're going to really be able to see the pace then of that BWT Lechner Racing car. So the gap in the championship between Ammermuller in 2nd place currently, in Preining in 1st, is 5 points. Ammermuller has been leading this championship the whole way through. A poor start by Preining meant he's had to play catch-up over the course of this championship. An 11th place and a 7th place finish in his in the first round in Oschersleben. You can really see the pace, though, of those BWT Lechner Racing cars. So here is our race leader, Thomas Preining, opening up a gap of 1 second then over Ammermuller. You just feel, had he not have had that poor start, he'd be running away with things over the course of this season. You just saw there Tony Wolff in the Car Collection Motorsport trying to get a move done. Currently in 16th position behind Tim Zimmerman. Great racing conditions out there today. That there then was Lucas Ertl in Race Union car, that red and white car. So, pretty straightforward stuff this for Preining. As things stand, he's controlling the pace well, keeping a good gap in between him and his teammates. We have various battles going across the field. That there, car number 15, is Glenn van Parijs, the MRS GT Racing car. And currently holding his own pretty well in 3rd place. There was Zimmerman on board now with Marius Nacken. That there is Tim Zimmerman behind us. Currently on board then with Carlos Rivas. Now on board with Marius Nacken. Here though is our race leader, Thomas Preining. still managing that gap of 1 second. Van Lagen 2.5 seconds behind. And going round the outside there then is, well, we'll come back to that in a moment. There then is Preining, our race leader. Just catching a little bit of curb there. That's the racing line he seems to prefer at the moment. Yeah, Van Lagen just about keeping up with the BWT Lechner racing cars, but slipping back a little bit. A nice little battle going on there for 4th and 5th. And you just wonder whether or not Larry ten Voort in the Deutsch Post by Project 1 car will be able to get past. So Van Lagen in 3rd at the moment, but under pressure. And you see behind that gap is not the largest of gaps there. Larry ten Voort is putting a little bit of pressure on his Dutch compatriots. Dylan Pierre in the Lechner racing car, the white car with the red stripes on the bonnets. This, though, is the battle to keep your eye peeled on at the moment. The battle for 3rd place between the 2 Dutch drivers. Larry ten Voort is putting the pressure on yesterday's winner. So Van Lagen already with a podium to his name, but this is a good move around the outside. Well done indeed. Good stuff that there by Dylan Pierre in the Lechner racing car, making up a position. Up now to 5th place. So we've got a good little battle. Oh, and there's been a spin around here, and you can see loads of fluid pouring out there. This could cause problems for many of the other drivers. Lucas Oertel in car number 3, and there must have been a collision there, something or other. He's made contact with another car and is pouring fluid all over this race course. He's still going, which is impressive to see. And there you can see a big spillage all over the track. I wonder if this is going to produce a safety car. You can see the damage then on the front of that race union car, where it's out of shot where exactly the collision was. He's limping round, he's lost a lot of fluid, but the car still seems to be going okay. That flag not actually properly produced yet. Meanwhile, here are our race leader and our 2nd place championship leader. It is Preining leading the way ahead of teammate Michael Ammermüller. Ammermüller, well, managing to keep up with Preining, but not enough to put on any pressure. Preining managing this gap well. In 3rd place, our race winner from yesterday, yep, Van Lagen. And there is that fluid. Doesn't seem to be causing too much of a problem at the moment. Obviously, the stewards and race officials here feel that that's not enough to bring out a safety car, or indeed to halt the race. So things carrying on as normal. Perhaps it's some power steering fluid or something like that. Maybe some brake fluid. It's not oil though, which is the main thing, so the cars aren't going to be skidding around the track too much. I think we're going to see a replay of what exactly happened here to Lucas Oertel. That then is Tony Wolff in car 7. And then you can see the car sideways. I'm still not quite sure what happened there. Here we go then, this is a better angle. Well, the damage is already done by that point, so it remains a mystery. Lucas Oertel's car is in the pits. Those mechanics are having a look to see if anything can be done to try and get the car back on the track, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lucas Oertel's race has come to an early end. Meanwhile, back to the cars at the front. Preining controlling the pace nicely. Over a second of his teammate, Michael Amamula. In third place, it is yesterday's winner. Winning 4 races, coming second in yesterday's race, but finishing ahead of his teammate in every single race prior to that. On his way then potentially to finally catching him up on the points. That then is Spreng, who had himself problems yesterday in car 4, making his way into the pits. He didn't have the best of races as the car is jacked up. The mechanics taking a look to see if they can work out what's going on there. That then was Carlos Rivas. And here you can see then this battle for 3rd and 4th. And Rivas, well, has Sandro Kaibach all over the back of him, and Kaibach gets the job done. That's good overtaking there by Sandro Kaibach. Will Rivas get the move back? This is the battle for 15th place. Well, that's good driving by both those drivers, showing each other room and respect. Gap between Preining and Amamula now. We're going to get a replay of the start, and Preining got away much better than he did yesterday. Swerves over to cover his teammate. Amamula consolidating 2nd place. You can see lots of movement in the cars behind, but in 3rd place Jaap van Lagen managing to hold his own very well. Everyone's staying out of each other's way. No collisions, as we often see is the case in an opening corner. Here then we're seeing another replay from a different angle of turn 2. Oh, it's a great shot that, isn't it? The backwards onboard of Preining just shows you how good that start was by the German. You're not getting past me, sunshine. Amamula's probably getting a bit bored of seeing the back of his car. He did get ahead of him yesterday, didn't he? A couple of times, but Preining jumped back, and a very important 2nd place finish for him, because this could mean heading into the 2nd part of the season, both these drivers will be on exactly the same amount of points. Amamula hasn't finished outside the top 4 once this season. He's had 2 1st place finishes, 2 2nd place finishes, make that 3 2nd place finishes, a 4th, and indeed a 3rd yesterday. His trophy cabinet will be bulging after this season, I can tell you that for nothing. So 7 laps gone. Slightly less drama for the BWT Lechner Racing boys. Their team's going to be a lot less nervous on the outside of the circuit, but the battle for 4th is heating up a little bit more now. As you can see, Dylan Piera in the Lechner Racing car is just starting to close in on Larry Ten Voort, currently in 4th position. That there is Carlos Rivas. We saw having a decent battle earlier on board now with Carlos Rivas. A little bit of ground to make up if he is to catch and overtake Tony Wolff, the car collection motorsport car, a little bit further ahead. So we're at the halfway stage of the race. Things looking very good indeed for Thomas Preining. Was yesterday looking to make it 5 victories in a row. Unable to do that though, finishing in second place, which he'll take ahead of his teammate in third place, meaning that difference is just 5 points. As we head into the second part of the season, Preining has been really on his game this weekend. A fantastic qualifying time by the German. 1 minute 42 seconds, .582. And that was a pace that no one could get near. His teammate, Michael Amamula, with a time of 1:43.3, 7/10 of a second slower. That just gives you an indication of the pace that Preining has to his disposal, should he require it. Looking there at the front of Jake Eidson, car 24. That's on-board camera with Marius Nacken. There that is Marius Nacken. Currently in 11th place, looking to sneak inside the top 10 if possible. Top 15 places, picking up points in the Porsche Carrera Cup. Back on board then with Nacken. Jolty camera. And you can see not much in it between those two. Nacken just fending off at the moment. Jake Eidson from the United States of America in the Deutsche Post by Project One car. That there, car number 16 is Gustav Malja. This is the battle for third place. And I tell you what, Jaap van Lagen certainly is going to have stiff elbows after this race weekend, making it very difficult for cars to get past him. And in fact, in doing so, has backed car number 93, Larry ten Voort, his Dutch compatriot, right into the path of our 5th place driver, Dylan Pereira. The Lechner Racing car, and having a little look as we speak, does Pereira fancies himself a go at 4th place, maybe even pushing on for a podium. So, car number 93, Larry ten Voort, the yellow and black car to right of your screen there, under pressure then to hold on to this 4th place. And then just behind, car number 27, John Baptiste Simonoya, also closing in on that little battle. Things have eased up a little bit for our 3rd place man, Jaap van Lagen. Now the battle has switched attention to 5th and 6th. There is our 5th place driver, car number 28, Dylan Pereira. We're going to see a replay then, what's going on back here. Here's Tom Lautenschlager going wide, and in doing so, letting by Richard Wagner for the Race Union car. I'll lock up there, you can see. So there are our 2 race leaders, the pink BWT Lechner Racing cars, followed then by yesterday's race winner, Jaap van Lagen, who is in a tense battle between Larry ten Voort, and behind him is Dylan Pereira. Just 5 laps to go then, on board once again with Marius Nacken. The MRS GT racing car looking to close in on Gustav Malja. That battle then for a top 10 finish. And who's this then coming into the pits? It is Tom Lautenschlager. So Tom Lautenschlag has picked up a problem somewhere along the line. You can see a black smudge on the front bonnet of that car. I don't know if he's caught anyone on the way past. Well, these two really are in a league of their own, aren't they? You feel that Thomas Preining is controlling this pace nicely. A second ahead of his teammate on board there. Then with our championship leader, Michael Ammermuller. 2 race victories to his name so far this season. The first 2 races of the season. He's concentrating hard because he's trying to get ahead of his teammate, but that gap, there is his teammate, Thomas Preining. 4 victories to his name, on track here for a 5th victory of the season. Controlling this race very nicely. Doesn't he look calm and relaxed? Not anywhere near the pressure he was under yesterday in that battle with Jaap van Lagen, the Forch Racing car. And again, you just see that constant racing line from Preining as he catches a bit of dust, using the full track to make sure he gets the best time in each lap he puts in. And there's no question, unless something drastic happens, that these two will be battling for the race victory today, and indeed probably the championship as well. Both with significant points over the nearest rivals. Beautiful day here in Nürburgring. So here we go, we can see Ammermuller behind, and I don't think he's got the pace at the moment to put Preining under any pressure. Preining then with the fastest fuel starts to go. Fuel to idea of the difference between this and the qualifying lap. Well, the qualifying lap was 1:42.5 from Preining, so only 2 seconds slower, and that gap looks like it could be coming down a little bit. The difference was 1 second. Gap well, but it's down to less than a second. So Ammermuller, now it's 0.870. So Ammermuller is starting to put a bit of pressure on his teammate. The pace was controlled well by Preining, wasn't it? This would be hugely significant if he can maybe put a bit of pressure on Preining and perhaps force him into a mistake as we approach the second stage of this championship season. Perhaps a bit of frustration slipping in there for car 12, which is Jean Smithstad in the Cito Pretiosa, should I say? Apologies for that pronunciation. And this is a nice battle, isn't it? Is he going to make the move around the outside? He goes alongside but doesn't quite get it done. Smithstad then looking to make up an extra position. Currently in 19th. This, of course, will put him in 18th place. just 3 places behind a points finish. So heading into the first turn, we've seen this turn used for overtake. Goes in quite slowly to try and get a better line. Good defending this though by car number 33, Stefan Rekopt. But managing to hold back his competitor. This then is the battle for 18th and 19th place. Little lock up there. I can tell you that Thomas Preining has just put in his fastest first sector of the race. In fact, the fastest first sector of the race in response to Amma Muller starting to close that gap. And the gap is now 1.146. So he's opened up a little bit of time, although they do look very close indeed, don't they? Looking slightly less relaxed now. Michael Amma Muller, his teammate, on board with him now. You can see the concentration levels seem to have gone up just that little bit more. Well, Amma Muller is going to push his teammate all the way, there's no doubt about that. The pair of them 9 and 10 seconds ahead of third place man Jaap van Lagen respectively. But you do just feel that Preining has that little bit of extra pace to give should he need it. Coasting through the middle sector of this lap. And who's that gone off there? That is car 97, who was running around 16th place. That is Sandro Kaibach in the MSG HRT Motorsport. He's gone off and is in the gravel. Might grab a replay of what happened there. He's not going anywhere, totally beached. So here's our race leader, Thomas Preining. A gap then of 1.171 over our championship leader, Amma Muller. But he's going to have to settle for a joint championship lead if things remain the same. Preining has been in superb form over the course of this weekend in terms of qualifying. A second place victory yesterday. But as we head towards the final lap, Thomas Preining looks on track to level this championship tie. Currently 5 points adrift of his teammates, but it is 25 points for a race victory, 20 points for a second place. Thomas Preining, after a poor start to the season, could finally be about to be back on level terms with his teammates, unless something drastically goes wrong in this final lap. Back on board then with Preining, looking around the back, seeing Amma Muller closing in on our race leader, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. 1.3. The gap, it's more than it was in the last lap. Preining knows exactly what he's doing. He's played a clever game out there today. He's managed the pace throughout the course of the race. Added a little bit more to his lap times when needed. Never really in doubt has this been for Preining, in a really strong position as we head into the latter stages of this championship season. This will be, of course, the mark of part 2 of the championship season. And Preining in a league of his own. 4 race victories out of the last 5 races. This would, of course, make it 5 out of 6. Well, he looks relaxed now, doesn't he? Because that gap is up to 1.4 seconds on the final lap. Slightly less now, but Amma Muller really will have to do something spectacular if he's to get past his teammate. Probably knows himself now there's not much more he can do. And here comes Thomas Preining around the last corner to take his 5th victory of the season, his 5th in the last 6 races. Dominant stuff there by the German, a raised fist in celebration. He knows the job is very much done in terms of catching
Schmidt-Stade auf den Plätzen 2 und 3. Von meiner Seite aus.
So another super race here at the Nürburgring. Not quite the drama we had yesterday. Thomas Preining will be grateful for that, I would imagine. Kept on his toes yesterday, wasn't he? Vibrant pink, the BWT Lechner Racing cars. They certainly stick out, don't they? Michael Ammermuller, a despondent figure, but I'm sure he'll be happy with his second place finish. A little bit of debris coming out onto the track there. BWT Lechner Racing have really put on a great show for us this season. That then confirmation of your top 8 drivers. Thomas Preining takes the race victory, his 5th of the season. In second place, his teammate Michael Ammermuller, 1.5 seconds further back. Jaap van Lagen completing the top 3, an impressive podium for the Dutchman, followed by Larry ten Voort, who finished 4th ahead of Dylan. Unable to get past Van Lagen, who dominated, I wouldn't say dominated, but controlled the race yesterday. Here then we see a replay of Preining coming over the finish line, swerving from left to right. Enjoying his 3rd victory here at Nürburgring in 4 races. And they're just ahead of Van Lagen, ahead of fellow Dutchman Larry ten Voort. On board then with Thomas Preining as he swerves in victory. And you're going to see a clenched fish in a moment. There we go. Knows where the camera is, doesn't he? So here then is classification of the driver standings. Thomas Preining tops the leaderboard then, based on those 5 race victories, on level points with Michael Ammermuller, 159 points shared between them. Larry ten Voort finishing 4th today is in 3rd place. Will take something pretty special if he's to catch those top 2. And Jaap van Lagen's been putting together some good results, hasn't he? 77 points to his name, 82 points behind our leader. Beautiful view of our 3 podium cars. That is the 2 BWT Lechner Racings, notable for their pink colours. Here then is our 3rd place driver, Jaap van Lagen. What a great weekend he's had. 1st place and a 3rd place. Michael Ammermuller finishing in 2nd place. Joint now on points with Thomas Preining. And here is then our race winner, Thomas Preining. So not too long to wait then for our podium. We'll have 2 podiums to bring you. The gentleman's podium as well. And I can tell you that there was a drive-through penalty awarded to car 18, which was Michael de Caseda. And that's been replaced by a 30 seconds time penalty, so that's going to knock him further back. So the drivers, having finished their media duties, getting waved in. It's their time now to go and spray champagne over each other and lift trophies. Well earned after a fantastic show they've given us over the past couple of days. Those 3 drivers have been the same 3 drivers on the podium so far this weekend, albeit in different orders. Lots of people out here today in the beautiful German sunshine, enjoying themselves. Fans from all over the world coming to enjoy the Nürburgring. Watch the Porsche Carrera Cup, very popular series. Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So, once again, confirmation of the classification from the 8th race of the season. Thomas Preining, 2.5 ahead of his teammate, Michael Ammermuller, the BWT Lechner Racing. Yeah, Van Lagen getting his 2nd podium of the weekend after that impressive victory yesterday. Carlos Rivas keeping us entertained with some battles earlier on in the race. And once again, classification then of the standings in the Drivers' Championship. Thomas Preining levelling points finally after slipping up in the first 2 races. 159 points shared with Michael Ammermuller, and the 2 Dutch guys in 3rd and 4th. So here then are our podium sitters. A kiss to the camera.
Sagt mir, ich soll beginnen. Das mache ich mit dem größten Vergnügen. Und hier sind Ihre Sieger, der 5-fache des Jahres und übrigens der neue Tabellenführer. Hier sind Thomas Preining, Michael Ammermuller und Jaap van Lachen. Dazu bitte.
That there then is our German commentator Burkhard welcoming the drivers to the podium. Pause now.
Aus den Händen von Lechner Racing, Thomas Preining.
There then, Thomas Preining raising his winner's trophy in the air. Doesn't he look pleased with himself?
Rang 2, der AVD-Sportpräsident. Lieber Volker Stritzek, die Trophäe an Michael Ammermuller.
Michael Ammermuller with another 2nd place finish. His 4th 2nd place finish of the season so far.
Das Podium Racing, Jaap
And another impressive finish, Jaap van Lagen. Bumping fists with our race winner, Thomas Preining. So Preining and Ammermuller sharing the spoils at the moment. And here we go, who's going to pop open their champagne first? Yesterday we saw a photographer getting a face full of champagne. And it looks like Jaap van Lagen struggling a little bit to get his champagne open as Preining pours champagne down the back of his race engineer. Here we go, better late than never. Preining then just pausing for a moment on the podium to take a moment's more celebration. Have a sip of the champagne. Let's not waste it all. It's good stuff.